Hi YouTube, it's your girl Natalie, the one true diamond, coming at you guys with what? Tuesday morning chit chat. Yes, it's Tuesday, and I'm glad about it. Get Monday on out of the way. Now we can just start progressing, Yeah, it's Tuesday, and it looks like it's gonna be a pretty day, and I will be stuck in work. I don't know. It's just something about being stuck in work when the days are pretty. But then again, it's always something about being stuck at work when there's a good deal, run deal going on too, ain't it? It's just something about it. Oh God. Sorry if I got to sneeze, y'all. Excuse me. Okay, so what am I going to talk about today? As y'all can tell, I guess you can tell, I posted Monday chit chat late. I thought I had done it yesterday. My mind is getting to the point of where I know my birthday is on the verge of touching me, like it's tapping me on my back. Okay, I'm here, and let me tell y'all how bad I am. I had calculated myself older. I had told a patient the other day, because I was saying my birthday's coming up. I said at the end of the month, and I'll be 49. And I got calculated. I'm like, wait a minute. That would make my sister like 52, because she's 3 years older than me. My sister ain't 52 because she just turned 50 last year. So I said, wait a minute. So I went back and calculated. I'm like, oh my God, I'm only going to be 48. Woo-hoo! Let's take this thing back. Okay, I'm reclaiming my year. I'm only going to be 48. I don't know why I want to put myself 49. Ain't nothing wrong with 49. It's going to be a beautiful place when I get there next year. But from now, I am going to be 48 years old. And we just got on the subject because we was like, I was like, when y'all were younger, did y'all ever think y'all was going to get the age you are now? I didn't. I could not imagine myself. This is my mom's age. I couldn't imagine myself being 40-something. And I'm like, and sometimes I think, do I still see myself 40-something? I always call myself miss or like I'm old sometimes, but I still in my head, I don't imagine myself that way. Oh my God. So I'm like, I never thought I would get this age. I thank God to be this age, but I never thought I would be the mother, the parent. I don't know what I thought. I don't know. I sure knew I couldn't stay young for long. But oh my goodness, you guys, this is an in the news conversation that really just took me for far. In the community that I used to live in, well, I live like maybe 30 minutes away from the house that it actually happened in, but I call it the same community, the same county rather. And they found the mother and the father shot dead. And I'm like, oh my God. And I knew these people because I dated their son and my girlfriend dated the other son. So I was like, oh, my heart immediately went out to them when I found that out. I'm like, who in the world would go and do something like that? Because the man was like maybe 83, I think he was. I think the paper said 83. I might be wrong. He was 80-something, and the lady was like in her late 70s, maybe 79, and he was 83 or something like that. And he was a well-known man because he owned his own fish boat. So he made money, because they made good money on fish boats, and he owned his own fish boat. So I know they were well-to-do people, because the son I dated used to work with him on the fish boat. And when he would come in on the weekends, we spent our time together on the weekends. And oh my God. So anyway, I know y'all like, well, you get to the point of the story here, two people that we don't know, but it makes your heart go out that two elderly people got killed. That should be one starter right there this morning chit chat. But the thing that really hurt me to my heart was that yesterday they posted a picture of the person who had killed them, and it was the son that I used to date. And I'm like, oh my God, I hadn't seen this boy in years. I mean, probably since we last dated. And I probably was like 19 or 20. Yeah, I was like 19 or 20, and I didn't realize it at the time, but he was like pushing 30. I'm like, God knows my mama would have killed me. She knew that boy was that old. didn't realize he was that. I thought, and when I got thinking, I didn't realize that he was that much older than me. Which not really, because my husband was 10 years older than me. I always dated older men, but to think when you're 19 or 20, and he was going on close to 30. Okay, anyway, y'all know how I do. Okay, so I mean, it just broke my heart. Not that I would think he would. I would never thought that he would do something like that, because he wasn't that type of person. He was always joking. He was always laughing. But when I see his picture, and I don't like to assume things because I don't know anything about this boy. Like I told you, I hadn't heard from him or heard anything from him in years. I mean, since probably my early 20s, after we finished dating, I hadn't heard anything from him. So y'all know that's over 20 years, right? Yeah, at least over 20 years since I heard a thing from him. But when I saw him, I mean, and he's in his 50s now. And when I saw him, it was like, oh my goodness, what happened to you, you know? And I don't know. When I look at him, I see somebody who maybe spaced out on drugs. It was no hurt face. There's no remorse face. He's just sitting up there like a mug shot, but you know, not like a remorseful, like, oh my God, my mom and dad are being charged for their murder. And I pray to God they find out it was not him, because that is just so tragic, because he has another brother as well as a sister. And can you imagine? Oh my God. And I'm like, he wasn't married, because the paper said that he had an altercation with his girlfriend. The police had been called at the house earlier that day because he had an altercation with his girlfriend. So that goes to show you he had a girlfriend and not a wife. And so who's going to be there for you when you're in prison? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they can muster up, I shouldn't say muster up, some brother and sisterly love to look out for you when you're there, because you're going to need somebody when you're there. Or maybe the girlfriend will stand by her man, you know, or whatever. It's just a sad situation. I'm like, oh my God, just sad, just a praying time. And then in the community where I raised my boys at, and everything, there was this young guy who got shot and killed. And I'm like, they said this, you know, the people say he was a good boy, wasn't no troublemaker, doing good like a pro. You know, he was good at sports and everything like that. Not sure if he went pro or not. I think he started playing for the ECU Pirates. He was like a walk-on player for ECU Pirates, which is kind of a good football team here in our Eastern North Carolina area. And he was shot and killed. I'm like, a young boy, young. You know, it's just like so much is just running rapid. And you know, usually you hear about all this kind of stuff going on in the bigger cities because there's more people there, not in these little small country hick towns. I mean, we got violence and crime, don't get me wrong, because it's really picking up and escalating here in these areas. But you know, it just breaks my heart to just hear all of these things that are going on in the world today. And I feel like, it brings me back to the scripture that says, if my people would humble themselves and pray, then will I, what does he say? Then will I bless the land? I think that's what he says. Then will I bless the land? We got to humble ourselves and we got to pray. We just got to pray, and we got to cry out to God, you know, for these things that are going on in this world today. I mean, it's just not just my little town. I'm just talking about my little town because that's hit home today. But all over, when you look at news all over the world, there are things going on. Look at the things that's going on in South Africa. Oh my God, and I just pray. I mean, Booba's not in South Africa. He's in, he's a West African country. I think Ghana's West African. Yeah, I was on the west side. He's in West Africa, I think. But Ghana's not in South Africa, I know that. Y'all like, you traveling and don't know where you're going. But I still go out because I'm like, Lord, please just protect and put a hedge of protection around him. Because you never know if they're going to migrate that way or, you know, what's going on. But it's like they are in South Africa. The people who are not from South Africa who are going there, I guess, to immigrate and work or whatever, they are just killing these people. They are burning them. They're tying tires to them. Do y'all remember during the apartheid movement when they were saying that, what's her name? No, not Imelda Marcos. God, please forgive me. God bless my son. Lord bless her. Not her. Mandela's wife, Winnie Mandela, that she had these boys who were going around terrorizing other Africans like that. You remember? I don't know if y'all remember that story or not, but yeah, that's what they were saying. And it seems to me they're doing the same thing in South Africa again. I'm like, oh my God, can you do this to your people, to a human? And then they got video of them where they had the man, he's on fire, tire tied to him, so it's hard to move with the tire, and he's trying to get up and they pushing him right back down. I'm like, oh my God, how can you sit there and how can you look at such, oh my God. And then they showed the little baby with like the eye was cut. I'm like, how could you do this to a child, a small child, a baby who's harmless, who's helpless, you know? And I just, my heart goes out around the world, you guys. And I'm telling you, it's a praying time for us. We have got to get together as a saint, as a people, as a nation, as a community, as friends, family, whatever, and pray for our land. Humble ourselves and pray so that God can bless the land. You know, it's time. It's time for a mighty move of God for all these things that are going on. But, you know, he tells us in these last and evil days that things are going to get wickeder and wickeder. So these things shouldn't come as a shock to us, you know, because the Bible tells us that these things are going to happen. And it's just, it has really done something to me. And I say, God, please, Lord, I know I have been slack in doing the things, of doing your will, of doing your way, God. But God, I give myself to you, God, to use me as you please. So if it means that I have to get up here and I have to talk about God, about his goodness, about his grace, his mercy, about living a righteous life. Young women, single women, you can live holy. You can live a virtuous life. You can be a crown in, you can be a jewel in his crown. You don't have to depend on that man to get what you want. You can be independent and you can get what you need until God sends you your Boaz. And if you don't know that story, go read the book of Ruth. Ruth waited with her mother-in-law. She could have left after the sons died. The mother-in-law told them to leave. The other ones did, but not Ruth. Ruth said, your people is my people. And she stayed with her mother-in-law. And glory be to God. God sent her a Boaz, a man that could take care of her and her mother-in-law. He sent her a man after his own heart. So, you know, you don't have to live that life. You don't have to depend on that man to take care of you. You don't have to say, oh, how am I going to make it if I don't get his money, or if he don't pay this bill? Or you don't have to. You got to learn to trust in God. I'm telling you, God will do it for you. You say, Miss Natalie, how you can sit there and say that you're a nurse, you go to work every day. But glory be to God. I've been in some tights. Glory be to God. And it was a choice. Glory be to God. But I said, no, you can't do that. You know, you got to continue to live a virtuous and holy life. Did I slip? Yes, I did slip. I slipped. I didn't walk perfectly. I got to thinking about those bills and how I was going to do this. And, you know, hey, I done it. So I can talk about it. I can identify with it. And I'm telling you, young women, you don't have to. You can start from now. You can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, pray and ask God for guidance, and he will lead and guide you in all things. He will tell you and show you where it is that you need to go, how you need to get what you need to get. He'll open up doors that no man can close, or doors that you didn't even think that could open up for you. God will do that thing for you. And when he do, I want you to come back on this video and I want you to say, Miss Natalie, he did it for me. And here's my testimony that God did it for me. Nobody else did it. And God will do it in a way where you know that nobody else did it but him. He will do it. He will bless you so that nobody can say, oh, she got that because of this. No, it's going to be because of God, and he's going to make it. He will take the least and make them the most. He will sit you up on top of the mountaintop while others feel like you should be in the valley. I'm telling you, you hold on. You believe in God. You trust in God. And I'm going to get off here because I'm running over to my 15 minutes, and this iPhone won't let me download past 15 minutes. But y'all remember, as always, do what? Give God some praise. Give him some thanks for waking you up this morning, starting you on your way, giving you another chance to get it right. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.